gas. No support in the bird, but it don't make me mad. Hit my bro for a feet, he ain't hit me back. Why? Call Manny up.
Okay, welcome to Pittsburgh Chatter, where I interview people.
Would you want to say something?
This is Antoine. Look, bro, fuck the intro, bro. This is one of the biggest barbers in the city.
That would be me. I appreciate it.
All right, so look, we just got to jump right in. Now, let's start to the beginning.
Go for it.
All right, so what was your childhood like, and where you grew up, and some of the schools you went through? You could just start through elementary, through high school.
So I grew up. Surprisingly, people don't believe me when I say I grew up in Homewood. I grew up in Homewood, like literally a little bit in Fineview. But we moved to Homewood. I went to Martin Luther King Elementary. That was on the north side. I believe it's still open, if I'm not mistaken. Middle school went to Washington Polytech, which is now a hotel. High school went to Southfield Tech, which is now some condos. Here we are.
Okay, so after high school, that's when you went to barber school. Or were you doing that while you were in high school?
So I was cutting hair 13. I knew going into high school that I wanted to cut hair. But my family was like, you're not going to make no money cutting hair, because what they saw from barbers in the city was just like, you're just going to cut hair for, supposedly it was like $8 back then or $10. It's like, you're not going to.
Hold on. Because first, because like you just mentioned that, you said your family. And I don't know it. Like, I've known you for a lot of years now, and I don't know anything about your family. So before we get into the barber stuff, let's jump into that. Like, your family, your parents, siblings, any of that. Just tap into that, how they are.
We have a lot of them. So I'm the youngest boy of 6.
Why did I
I'm
know
not
that?
mistaken. Yeah,
Okay,
there's 6 of us. My mom was cool. Like, whatever I wanted to do, to go for it. My dad was really cool. It was really it's my grandparents, because like your grandparents have this thing in their head, like you go to work for 40 years, you get a pension, and basically you die. So it was like, you're going to go to college. So I went to college because they told me to go to college. All right, whatever. If I'm going to go to college, I went for what I wanted to go for. So I went to Full Sail for audio engineering and entertainment business. Cutting hair the whole time in school with a pair of Conair trimmers, not even clippers. Like, I'm cutting people's hair with trimmers and a comb, and would have line outside of my
So it's safe to say at this period of your life, the cutting hair is more of a hobby than it is a serious business.
It's just a way to keep money in college so you can not be broke college student.
Understandable.
So I'm taking people's meal cards, taking papers so I ain't got to do my own work. We're out here. I literally had a brand new car by my sophomore year in cash. Hair. So that's when I was like, all right, we going to do this, but this is not going to be what we're going to be here going to college for.
All right, well. You see, all right, I'm cool with that. All right, so we'll get into that now that you kind of deep dived into that. So you kind of talked about how you were cutting hair in college and stuff, but you didn't really get it. How did you get interested in it? Was it just like, how did this come about?
My dad had he cut his own hair, not a barber. He just cut his own hair.
Yeah,
he wasn't good at it. Just cut his own hair. And the gray clippers that everybody used, you know, that gray trimmer that we all had. He would cut his hair with that gray trimmer, and it broke one day, and he threw it in the garbage. And I was taking out the garbage, and I saw it. I picked it up, and it worked, but it didn't work, if that makes any sense. And I just literally started cutting my cousin's hair. Not even cutting, I'm sorry. I started messing up my cousin's hair.
Was Sonny? Or was this before Sonny?
Who's Sonny?
Sonny is the, not Sonny.
Sunshine.
Sunshine, yeah. My fault.
Yeah.
He said, who's Sonny?
That would be him, yeah.
Okay.
I would mess his hair completely up. I'm surprised he still talks to me.
Yeah.
I really just like mess his hair completely up. And then I went to college, and I was like, when you leave the city, I don't know a barber. Then by this time I had braids. Like, I had long hair. So I was just like, give myself a little fade on the side, a little shape up. I'm like, well, just cut your own hair. My roommates was like, oh, you cut hair. So I cut. Like, that's literally how stuff trickles. Then everybody like, hey, yo, bro, cuts hair, he in the dorm. I would come out to my dorm room, people laying on the floor like, I'm trying to get a cut. Like, bro, I'm going to class. Like,
and I've realized, like, I've been to like big colleges like Penn State and stuff, and I've realized if you cut hair,
you're going to make
all the time.
And I'm in college charging $8 for a haircut. And if you don't got $8, give me your meal card for like 2 days.
That's not bad. You got to get what you can in college.
You really do. So you don't. So you're not, I'm out here. Pardon me. These kids are out here. I'm eating Red Lobster. These kids are out here struggling to go to do anything. Like, I'm telling you, I literally bought a brand new car in my sophomore year.
Just saving up off haircuts.
Haircuts alone.
That is ridiculous. So what barber school did you go to, or this was?
So I went to Empire.
Okay, Empire. Yeah.
Because so now we're gonna fast forward. My aunt used to run a salon in East Liberty called Dana Salon Salon. Now it's just called Blown, like literally on the corner of Penn.
Okay.
She was ready to retire. So by this time, I'm running restaurants when I left college. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're in college. I had a job and cutting hair. I used to work at a restaurant in Orlando Airport, and they're like, well, we see you're from Pittsburgh. Do you want to go back home? We're putting a new restaurant in the city. I was like, not really. It's cold up there. Like, I'm good down here in Orlando. He was like, well, we'll give you more money. I was like, how much more money? Because at this time, I didn't realize that now your time is your money. I didn't realize that back then, but now I get it. So it was a nice amount of money. Move back up here. Great, whatever. I quit that job 2 months later. My aunt goes, I'm retiring. I'm about to sell the business. I'm like, well, don't sell it. I'll just take over.
Oh, she was selling like the complete business, everything to do with it. Okay.
Everything. She didn't want to do it no more. She had made her money, been doing hair for like 35 years. She was over it. So I'm like, well, I'll go to school to learn everything because I don't want to be in a place where I'm trying to run something and they say, well, we need this. And I'm like, all right, here's money for it. Meanwhile, you don't need it. So I go to Empire. Only boy in Empire. I had hair cutting experience. So I literally just kept honing the haircutting craft. Now that going to Empire led me to do hair as well as cutting hair. So literally between self-taught, when I say I'm self-taught and YouTube. Caking is Randy on YouTube. Little plug for him. He's a dope dude. That's how I learned how to cut hair.
So you were just watching. All right. So what was the period of time where you went from messing up Sonny's hair, Sunshine's hairline to actually being nice in every single cut?
I'm not even gonna lie. I literally didn't think that I became nice until like 3 years ago.
That's so.
And
much
people,
cap.
and people say
That's
I'm lying. Like, but I'm a harsh critic. Like, I see things that you guys don't see. So like, let's go back to 3 years ago. Would have been. What, a year before the pandemic? Yeah. So there's still haircuts on Juju that I'm like, bro, what were you doing? I don't believe you paid me for this. But everybody's like, yo, bro, that's hot. I'm saying? So me personally, I'll give it 4 years ago. I thought I became nice.
Okay. So, all right. So how did you get your own shop? Because that's like a feat that not everybody can really do. And people will be cutting in their houses and other people's barbershops for years. And then there's some people where it's like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I want my own. So what was the process from that like after barber school?
So, as I said, my aunt had her own shop. That didn't work out. It was like, we ain't going to be able to work together because I'm going to hurt you and we going to not be aunt and nephew. So I went to go work for a place over in Bellevue. And I was doing hair and cutting hair. And I recall the day the owner came to me and goes, you got to pick which one you want to do. I was like, why? Basically, I was taking everybody's clients. So when like my motto is even when I get
not on purpose, just
not on purpose,
naturally, just because
and even not because I was available. So when I tell people all the time, when you come into a barbershop as a new barber or stylist, always be there. If the shop open at 9 o'clock in the morning, be there at 9 a.m. If it closes at 10, be there from 9 to 10. Somebody's going to come in and want something done, and everybody else is booked. Or even people who have other clients and they know that you're in the place, they're going to be trustworthy of you and come sit in your chair eventually. So one day, one of the girls was late. Her client was like, you do my hair. All right. So I did her hair, and then she just kept coming back. She quit going her. So they were getting upset that them being late was giving me more clients.
Which is not your fault.
Not my fault. So the owner goes, you have to pick one, do hair or cut hair. I was like, nah, I'm out. And I literally that night went to my computer on Craigslist, typed in barbershop, my first location on the south side. It popped up, and it was a crazy low amount to be on the south side. I'll tell you the amount. It was $700 a month. $700 a month.
That's
I have
very
2,000 square feet of space. I think you was there when it was butt ugly. Remember it was butt ugly.
Hold on, I want to get to that. So just finish. Yeah.
All right. So I typed in the barbershop. It came up. I went to go see it with the guy. I'm like, because it can't be real. I'm like, this is not real. We go in there, and he goes, $700 a month, and water is free. I like, bet I'll take it. I had no clients. I had nobody else who was going to come work with me. I had no way to figure out how I was going to pay second month's rent. I had enough for first month's rent because by this time I'm like using all my savings from having a restaurant running. And I was like, well, if the water's free, at the least I can do is bottle up water and just sell bottled water. Who's going to?
Exactly.
So that was it.
Well, and that, all right, so there's a couple of details I wanted to talk about. Is because, like, first of all, when you were talking about, like, you weren't still in clientele, so I don't want to call it that.
Yes.
You're saying you're honing your skills at this time, and so what I'm hearing is they're giving you an ultimatum of basically you can cut or do hair. You can't do both, which would technically be a setback for you because then that means you're only honing one of your skills versus all around, correct?
Big facts.
Okay, so that's why you dip. So, okay, we got that part. And then my next question would be, and I'm going to give us some credit. We played a part in this. How did you manage to, like, increase the number of clientele you had? Because I'm not even going to lie to you. And it feels so good to say it. I was there at the, like, not the complete beginning, but I was there when it was just like you had the board outside with the $10 cuts.
And that was it.
Okay.
Were you guys there before I met Le'Veon or after?
Are you serious?
Before
All right. But wait, but is he
Bro,
serious
so
right now?
You gotta remember, this month it will be 11 years I've been in business.
Oh, so no, you're getting to that point where
My
it's just
brain
like,
is- yeah, I don't know- I don't
okay,
remember
okay.
what was
Look, we're gonna let's not jump into the like he's
All right.
trying to jump forward.
So we'll go from okay,
Yeah. Let's start from there, from when you were cutting all the A1s, basically.
So we go from $10 haircuts was how I did it. I went around the city. Now before I even got my own shop, I applied to like tons of barbershops.
Oh, okay.
And I tell you they were not rocking with me. No, we don't want you to work for us. You're not that good.
Oh, they feel dumb right now.
Yeah, you're not what we're not. You do hair and you cut hair, but like who wants like you? Who does that? Dudes don't do women's hair. Like I was like, all right. So that's what made me go get my own. The $10 haircut thing was what got me getting clients.
Got you.
Haircuts probably that time was probably like 20. I was like, well, how can I get people in my chair?
They was actually 15, 20. Yeah.
I was like, all right, we're going to cut it in half and do 10. So the goal for me was to do 10 haircuts a day. So at the very minimum, I'm making $100. Mm-hmm. That's cool. $100 a day. I was working 7 days a week.
That's rent.
$700 for, you know what I'm saying? So if I work a whole week.
Not including tips.
Bang them out. I got at least 1 week of the month and I can fund this whole business on my own.
Mm-hmm. Wow. When you say it like that, it sounds completely easy. Like it doesn't really.
It's completely easy. So you figure I'm putting a sign outside. You're walking past $10 haircuts. All right, what's the worst gonna happen? And you come in, you get a haircut, and I'm good.
No. Good is beyond. We call you Jesus Clippers for a reason, bro. No. All
right, and
beyond that.
Okay.
You designed me my first cut, and that was so rare for a barber to give.
No lie, you came across my.
Bro, the proof is in the pudding. It's all online.
But it came across my memories literally like yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
Jesus Clippers.
So we go to $10 haircuts and everybody's like, yo, bro, go see bro. He's $10.
No, we were, bro. I don't think you understand how much we was promoting you. We was pushing you on motherfuckers would be like, oh, where you getting your cut from? Nah. All right, I'll tell you. It's on the south side.
And you remember, it was walk-ins only. Like I wasn't
no schedules.
Come in, I'm trying to get a haircut. All right, have a seat. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
It got a little. I remember the day I went from being walk-in to appointment only. It was like Easter, and people were outside.
Wait, is this before you started cutting the pro athletes?
Before I started cutting the pro
athletes.
All right,
go ahead.
People were outside sitting on people's cars. Like, we're on the south side. You can't be sitting on people's cars. Like cops, so the cops came by. It was like, what's going on around here? I'm like, it's a barbershop. They're just waiting. I'm like, okay, now I got to figure out a way to switch the focus of my business. But that's how $10 haircuts. And now people don't believe me when I say $10 haircuts made me a lot of money. I recall there was a stylist who worked for me. I'm not going to say her name, but she was dating a barber who worked downtown at a barbershop. Mm-hmm. He would drop her off at work, and my son was outside. He was like, how is bro making money doing $10 haircuts?
Because niggas is coming. I know they ones, we would come like 4 at a time. Like,
so you figure you guys were doing it, you're in high school. Now we're going to tap into.
Hold on. That's on my next question. That was like, how did you start cutting pros? Like, how did that career start? We're going to get to the pros.
So we're going to go to Pitt, because it was Pitt's
students.
Track team.
Oh, you started cutting Pitt first.
Pitt's track team found me. And then Robert Morris's basketball team found me.
Wait, when was this happening? This was like right when you started doing appointments.
Yes, it was when I first started. I had the app.
Okay.
And I started doing appointments. So it was Pitt's track team, and I think I cut. I don't even know who was the first one I cut, but he went and told the team. Teams are coming in. Somebody he knew from Morris played basketball. Mm-hmm. He told the team. They would literally get into a car, the whole team, and come down here and just sit in the shop.
Well, that's because they needed their cuts for the games and stuff. And they don't play. Athletes don't play about their haircuts. They need their cuts like on time.
Basketball schedule is way different than football schedule. Like, thank the Lord we don't have a professional basketball team in Pittsburgh because I would never be able to leave.
It would have been bad for you.
So we go there, and then Pitt's football team. He was James Conner's. What do you call him? His the
coach, head coach.
So James Conner is a starter. What's the dude behind him? Like
the backup.
There you go.
Okay.
He was James Conner's backup.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, this is while James Conner's still at Pitt.
At Pitt.
Okay.
So Darren Hall. So he comes, gets a haircut. Go back to the locker room. James Conner wants a haircut. Now we're going to have to tell you something. Nobody knows the story, right? Mm-hmm. Mike Young was a player on Pitt's basketball team. I guess he was like the star of
the guy at the time.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't follow Pitt basketball. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who he was. Him and James Conner both DM me at the same time. You do house calls. I'm like, yes. They go, well, how much? I give them the price, which was insanely cheap back then. My house call price was $50. You can get me to come to you $50.
Yeah, and the next time I seen you was like what, like 2,000, some wild shit.
It's $200 per person now. Not even for the whole house, $200 per person, and that's where it's gonna start off at. Yeah. So I'm like, well, they didn't want to pay the $50 price. Not a big deal. He's like, well, we go to Pitt. I was like, all right, and come to the shop. Mm-hmm. Mike Young comes in. Everyone else knew who Mike. When I tell you that they fanned out, like clients like fanned out, I'm like who are you? Like, should I know who you are? Mm-hmm, He's like, I mean, I'm Mike Young. I'm like, all right, well, nice to meet you, Mike Young. Whatever. James Conner on the hand calls. He like, I still want you to come to me, but he doesn't. Like, you should just do it off the strength that I'm James Conner. Mm-hmm. And I'm the running back for Pitt. Mm-hmm. And anybody who knows me, that's not how that's going to work.
Well, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's one thing I want to say that because that's something that probably definitely played a key role for you is the fact that you aren't fanboying and being a fan of these players, so that increases the amount of players you can have because they don't get that. They get that from everybody. So for what they bought from their barber is just to cut hair
and just be as regular as you can be.
Exactly.
As you can be. Mm-hmm. So I've never even cut James Conner because he never came in. Mm-hmm. I think his DM is probably still in my Instagram from back then. Mm-hmm. So then we get to, I'm thinking Le'Veon is like 2 years in by now. Mm-hmm. I've been cutting his brother.
You had him at his peak though, yeah.
I've been cutting his brother the whole time he's been here for 2 years.
Oh yeah, I've heard this story. Yeah,
I had no idea who he was until and at this time I was very accessible. You can call me on my cell phone. You can DM me. However you want to get a haircut, you get a haircut. And one day he calls. He goes, "My brother wants a haircut." I'm like, "All right, well, tell him to come to the shop." It's like he doesn't want to drive. I'm like, "Well, who's your brother? Like, how you gonna get here? You gonna float? Like, I don't understand." He's like, "It was Le'Veon Bell." Still didn't. I don't know.
Bro, because at this time you're so busy, you ain't worried about no sports.
And I wasn't even. I mean, I watch football, but now I wasn't like focused on football. And he wasn't even. Was he even a starter back? He wasn't. He didn't start.
No, he was good. He was big, but it was like AB had more of the clout as usual.
Le'Veon wasn't really being a household name, so I didn't know who he was. I was like, all right. So I Googled Le'Veon Bell. I was like, all right, well, here's the price. By this time, house call is now $100. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, here we go. My first house call ever. The morning I went to his house, I stopped at Kmart by his house. I had to buy everything. Lights, extension cords. I literally walked in with a dustpan and a broom. Like, I had nothing. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm never nervous. I pulled up to front of his house. I was like, he can really make or break what I'm about to do right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. Social media is popping because he found Le'Veon's brother found me off Instagram. Mm-hmm.
And this is when Instagram is like, you can still see people's photos. Yeah, like, this isn't how it is now.
It was before it was that AI got control of it and it was like manipulated. So I'm hashtagging Pittsburgh Barber, Southside Barber, blah, blah, blah. I come sit in my chair, and that's how he found me, Pittsburgh Barber, the little hashtag. So I go in, meet him, cool dude, no big deal. I'm not a fan, so I'm not going to fan over him, cut his hair. I leave. Literally, I get an alert as I'm driving off. He's on Twitter.
He posted you.
He posted a picture of himself. Like, I got a cut.
I remember I seen that shit.
$1 million. I was like, bro.
I remember I seen that shit because I've been a fan of Bell. I was like,
bro,
wait, what the fuck is going on?
And by the time I got back to the shop, my phone is ringing, and it's Roosevelt Nix, who was Le'Veon's backup.
The fullback. Yeah, the bald head nigga.
So in the locker room, Le'Veon sat next to AB. Mm-hmm. AB asked Le'Veon, "Who cuts your hair?"
You were trying to get AB for the longest. You said his cuts used to be fucked. Tetris box head.
They weren't executed very well. They weren't. I'm not even gonna lie. You're right. I said it. Like, and we was gonna stand on it. Like, they weren't very good. They still aren't very good. But whatever.
Yeah.
So we just never got a chance to. I don't know. Our schedules didn't work for me and AB. But so we go from Roosevelt Knicks to at the time. They're all gone now. I don't even know their names, but other players on the team. Then I get a coach who was a coach of player relations. So when you're a rookie, so when Najee got drafted, he hits the airport. They take that picture, come down the
you just skipped the whole training camps that you.
Bro, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bro's the coach. So when you become a rookie, he comes at the airport, shows you around Pittsburgh, and the first thing he tells you is, go see AntoineDion for a haircut. So Coach Terry, he hasn't worked no more. Shout out to him. He was like, that's really plug. People think Le'Veon was a plug. Coach Terry was a real plug. Le'Veon is the plug, and forever and ever, Le'Veon calls like right now, I gotta go. We gonna have to leave because Le'Veon wants a haircut. But so you cut his hair. Let's go to camp. All right, camp it is. I've never been to Latrobe. I'm not driving to Latrobe to see y'all play outside. There's no shade there. It's a college that I would have never. If you would have told me I had a scholarship to go to Latrobe, I would have paid to go somewhere else. I don't know why people attend that.
It's
school.
not a desired area you would go to
at all. So we show up in like year one. When I tell you they treated me dirty as an organization going to Latrobe. They had me like far away in like a tucked out room and whatever. So Le'Veon finally gets there. He goes, "Bro, why you all the way over here and we all the way over here?"
And this is when he has the clout to change things. Like, you got him fucked up.
Put me out. He was like, "I have no idea." He was like, "All right, don't worry. Next time you come up here, we gonna have it taken care of." Literally the next week, I come back. "Oh, Mr. Dion, how are you? Boom, boom, boom. You can park your car here. We made a barbershop for you."
That's what 1,000 rushing yards will do.
We made your barbershop in the Rooney building, in the lunch room. Like, the Rooney building is where all the starters stay. So you got Le'Veon's in there, AB's in there. At this time, Cortez Allen's in there. Ben's in there. I mean, I see Ben, but that's not. I don't know Ben. Ben is focused on being Ben. What he's doing. You know what I'm saying. So I come down and literally they make me a barbershop in Latrobe. So like, training camp is what, a month and a half?
Around that, yeah.
So I'm there every day for a month and a half. I'm here. AB brings his barber. I'm not going to say who his barber is, but if you have a timeline in your head, you can figure out who his barber is. And we're sitting like this. So I'm like this cutting Le'Veon. Bro's cutting AB, and I'm done. Le'Veon goes out. Rookies come in. They're like, "Hey, yo, who just cut up LB?" Because they never use their real name. It's either LB, they call Ben 7, AB. Everybody's how they work. I was like, that was me. Bro's like, "I'm trying to be next with you, yo. That was fresh." I was like, all right, well, I literally have a sign-in sheet now at training camp. AB gets up from his barber, looks in the mirror, looks at him like this, looks at me, walks out. Sunshine was there. I was like, I think he wants something because he's at the door. He's like this. I was like, I'm not going over there. See what he wants. They go down the hall. He goes, "AB wants you to fix his hair." I was like, I will not fix this man's hair in front of.
That's disrespectful. You're trying to be respectful.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, what I don't want to have is a problem between me and this older dude who I asked to work at his shop, by the way, and he told me no.
Slight flex.
You know what I'm saying? But here I am.
Slight flex.
In the same space as you are. But whatever. So the whole day, AB walked around with a hat on because his haircut was that bad. Like, literally.
This is when he was getting like that little
the Tetris thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. It wasn't crisp. Was none of that stuff. All right, let's cut to the fact that the season starts. Am I going ahead of myself? You good? You ready?
Oh no, you're good. Because my next question is who pays the most. So you're following. You're literally going on the right way.
Who pays most? So I just had Le'Veon. Le'Veon was the only person I would go to a house call for. Now, when you come to the shop, I think another reason why they like me because if you come to my shop, no matter who you are, you're paying the same price. So if you're getting a haircut, it's
$45 now.
40.
Some absurd amount.
It's not
fucking absurd,
it's not
bro.
absurd. $40 for the beard and the haircut. That's real. I could go up,
bro. Look, I know it, but it's just absurd to me.
It's
cool.
But
it's love.
So it's 40. But if I come to you, obviously it's a different price. No big deal. So they're coming in. It's 40. It gets to the point where I have to start making Steeler Fridays, where I can't even take anybody who doesn't play for the team because if they travel, they're traveling Saturday morning. So everybody wants a haircut Friday. So literally my day used to consist of, I would come in, they're done with practice around 1 o'clock. So I have 2 regular people. My 11 o'clock, my 12 o'clock is a regular person. If you get that spot during season, you lucked up. 1 o'clock, it starts. Coach Terry comes in. Rosie comes in. At this time, Cortez Allen would come in. So everybody had their own little spot. Then I would leave. I would go to Le'Veon's house. Le'Veon, we acquired Joe Hayden, I think, that year.
Oh, that's when his starts. But you was hooking that nigga up because his cuts start looking nice. He start posting way more pictures, didn't he?
So we acquired Joe Hayden, and Le'Veon would give my number to anybody. So now I answer the phone anytime anybody calls me.
But it's respectfully, like you can do that if it's gonna be an NFL nigga calling you.
It's gonna be some money calling. I'm gonna answer the phone.
Okay,
so
respect.
It's like I answer the phone at every phone call now because who never know what it's gonna be. So as a text, she's like, "It's Joe Hayden. Le'Veon, give me your phone number. I'm trying to get a cut." I'm like, Joe Hayden, like I don't know, like he played for Cleveland. I damn sure didn't know anybody about Cleveland. We go. I cut his hair. It becomes a routine. So I would go leave the shop, go to Joe's house, leave Joe's house, go to Le'Veon's house. Leave Le'Veon's house, go to LT Walton's house, leave LT Walton's house, get Artie Burns, hit Artie Burns' house, and then Sean Davis's house. Like we are literally traveling around Wexford, PA, because they all live so far away. The day before the game, so that was Le'Veon's. That's like season 3, because year 4 would have been his negotiation contract.
Correct, where he was sitting out the whole time.
But guess who was still at work?
He was still getting cuts. Yeah, no, I know. That money ain't stopped coming in.
Not even from him. So you figure Le'Veon brought me in, right? Why is his barber still coming to training camp if he's not here? That people didn't understand that. Like I'm here, and Le'Veon, I got people who work for the organization asking me, "Is Le'Veon showing up this year for the camp?" What?
So it really gets that deep when it comes to like negotiation. Anybody that has any insides, they're asking you,
bro. And I tell you, people were asking me, and that year was Juju's first year.
So he was still in his rookie contract, so he didn't really have to worry about that negotiation.
Who?
Juju.
It was his first year. He just got there.
Okay.
So Le'Veon's negotiation contract year was Juju's first year. Because I remember by this time, I'm savvy with it now. We pull up the training camp. I got a parking spot. We in there. I got it. I pull up and have you been in training camps before? So if you go to Latrobe, there's 4 fields. Offense is working down here. The defense up here. Special teams, and there's like an empty field. But in the empty field, there's just 2 people over there. And from where I'm standing, I'm like, who is that? And the security guard goes, "Oh, that's Hines Ward. They brought him back because he retired. They brought him back to work with that Schuster kid. I'm like, Schuster kid? So I'm like, Sunshine, what are you talking about? He's like, Juju from USC. I'm like, Google him. So we Googled him. And on Instagram, he's out here doing Juju on the beat. He's out here. I'm like, he is going to be a star. I was like, whenever he hits the bottom of this step, I don't care who I'm cutting, you tell him to come get a haircut. Juju comes down there. I'm in the locker room. He goes, "He was looking for me." I was like, "Bro, I got you for a haircut. We want a haircut." That cut, I've been cutting Juju. We in year 5 now. That's where that happened at. So now I'm more strategic about where I place the energy at now. Before it was like I want to cut everybody.
So it was after Juju. I think that's when I had like, because I went through like a phase of like 6 months I didn't get a cut. Like I just was not getting cut, and I think I came back to you after that. And then next thing I know, I think it was around the time like I knew you were cutting some Pirates, but I think I really figured out when you were cutting Archer. And I was like, if you got help, wow, that's a big like, because those baseball players, you get them too. I was like, wow.
Now, how Archer came along because of Juju. So, Juju, his rookie year, he's everywhere in Pittsburgh. He's not the player who's going to sit in the house and just not do nothing. I think his bike was slow in that year, which really helped him become a superstar for real.
Which some people envied him because he would do that a little bit.
So, he went to a Pirate game. I guess he met the team. I don't know how that worked. But next thing I know, I'm getting a text from Chris Archer. This is Chris Archer. I play for the Pirates. Juju gave me your phone number. Can I get a haircut? All right. That's how that works.
Well, Polanco, too? That's how you got connected to Polanco? Because you cut him, too.
Archer, Polanco, which was a language gap because he really doesn't speak English that well.
Really?
He doesn't speak English that well.
When I used to see him in the hallways, I just used to go like this. Facts?
He doesn't speak English that well. It's a lot of... And then it was the Diaz, the Soto brothers. What was his name? They're traded now. But either way, they didn't speak English. It's very like, hey, Poppy. I'm like, first of all, quit calling me Poppy. We had to, I'm like, that, I know down there, that's where it works down there. But
that's just the same thing. It's like Africans do the Baba, Poppy.
Yeah,
that's just,
I'm like, we're going to call me Poppy. Like,
yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Good. Dion, Poppy ain't going to fly for me. Like,
yeah.
It
sound wild.
Yeah, sounds wild. Like, I would ask you how you want your haircut. You'd be like, give me a fade, Poppy. And in my head, I couldn't. It wasn't work for me.
Yeah.
So we got Polanco, and then what was his name?
Marte? No, you didn't call Marte.
He was a star. He got traded. Who? No, Hutchins.
Josh Harrison?
Crap, bro, with the dreads. He got traded. There you go.
You cut Andrew?
That's where
when he came back.
No, that's where I was working to. Because I'm in the baseball world. I'm like, well, who is the person on this team who's like the top of the peak? McCutcheon. But he got traded before that happened. I'm like, all right, we're going to keep. We still had Archer and Polanco. I think they're both gone now. So,
all of them.
You know what I'm saying? So my parrot thing is gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how that parrot thing happened.
All right, well.
Meanwhile, I still have Pitt.
Well, yeah, we know you got the Steelers.
Because
the way the Steelers work and then the Pitt and all that, they just going to keep funneling down freshmen. They're going to keep funneling them down.
Like, I had the whole basketball team at one time. The whole team that they all left that season because of a coach. That was I literally cut them every time they had a game.
All right. Look, I want to get into like the Ben stuff, but there's a couple questions I have before that. First is the like.
Who pays more? Question.
Yeah.
Who pays more? Like
who pays the most? Just you don't even got to dive deep. Just give the name so I can.
Player?
Just you could be anybody. It could be a player. It could be a regular person. Some drug dealers be having that bet. No, I'm just playing. They don't. It be seeming like that when they're going to get their food.
Yeah, it's a front.
Okay, all right.
Front. Who pays the most?
Well, compared to millionaires, of course not.
We're going to show you how this works, and this not even capping. The price was $100 for Le'Veon. I meet Joe Hayden. Joe goes, "That's it, $100, bro? No, we giving you $160." Price went to $160. I meet Stephon Tuitt, $160. Nah, bro, we giving you $180.
And that's a future Hall of Famer. So yeah,
we go to $180. I meet now. Juju pays the most when he comes into the shop because he just likes to be. He doesn't want house calls. He comes and sees me. Not a big deal.
He likes getting out the crib. Clearly,
yeah. So he pays the most when he comes to the shop. Like the price he pays is a house call price. He doesn't have to. I'm like, bro, you know it's way too much. He goes, just time is money. Not a big deal. Then I meet Ben. He's like, that's how much your haircut is?
Hold on. When he's saying Ben, we're talking just to know, because we have to make sure that you're flexing it. Because I've watched you work hard, and now you've reached to this level. We got to talk about it. Because Ben Roethlisberger, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. No, 1 time, because Hines Ward got it. Yeah. Hines Ward got it the other year. So you're now cutting him. Dive into it. Go ahead.
How that happened was, if you ever been in my shop, excuse me, I'm in the back of the location. My phone is usually like close to me. So a FaceTime comes up. I'm like, who's FaceTiming me without no name? So I hit the button.
And you're not giving. Let me be very clear. He's not giving his number out during this period of time. You're telling people.
Nobody.
Yeah. Unless you're an NFL player or somebody
you
of
have
high.
to hit me on the app. That's the only way you're gonna get me is an app.
Unless you're high status.
You're not getting me. So
exactly.
I hit the button and I see the bottom of a beard. I'm like, what is that? And then it goes off.
A gold ass beard.
And it goes off and it cuts off. I was like, all right, whatever. And I keep cutting. It didn't faze me. And they call right back. I'm like, what the fuck? So I hit the button again. By this time, it's his face. He goes, Dion? I go, Ben? Like,
oh my God.
Ben?
I would have cried.
I literally have a kid in my chair and I go, Ben? And he hears his voice. The little kid darts his head around. I was like, bro, keep your head still. Like, he was like, I'm like, what can I do for you? How are you? He goes, I'm old. I know how to work this social media stuff. I mean, this technology stuff. I didn't know I was FaceTiming you. I thought I was saving your number in my phone.
This story's so good.
I'm like, all right, cool. So he goes, Juju gave me your phone number. Is that okay? I was like, yeah, that's not a problem. What can I do for you? He's like, I need a haircut. Now, at this time, I did an article with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
I did see that. You had posted that on Facebook. Yeah.
So they came. Me and Zach Banner did an article, whatever. And Ben goes, do you do house calls? I was like, I can come to you. Like, if you want to, I can come to you. I was like,
no, that will cause way too much drama.
I'm like, you know what? We have a special entrance. I was like, that's not going to be a problem. But I can't control how people are going to react when you come in. I was like, I'm like, maybe I'll come to you.
All it takes is one post, and then everybody.
Not even that. I don't take disrespect very well for people who, when you come into the place, you're supposed to be, it's a safe space. So I want you yelling out anything to this man that I might have to punch you in the face for. And then I got a lawsuit, and it's a whole different thing. So I'm like, I can come to your house, no big deal. I'm like, just send me your location. And at this time, I'm just like, you're lying. It's not. I see your face, but you're not Ben Roethlisberger.
You think it's cap a little bit.
I'm like, whatever. Location. And I'm like, you can text me your address to this number. All right, boom. We set up a time, address. I'm driving, which seems forever, but it's not forever. Once I'm down like this. He's out the way, but he's not in the way. I pull up.
Mansion?
What's bigger than a mansion? It's a compound.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's not a mansion.
He's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he can't go nowhere. So everything has to do is has to be
around
there.
Yeah.
So you go to the gate, buzz the gate. I pull up to the windy road, and no lie, Ben's outside cutting his own grass.
Just normal nigga shit.
Just normal shit. I'm like, he's cutting his own grass. So that's the day my article dropped in the paper. Same day. I get out the car. His kids are out there playing around, dogs, whatever. His wife's planting flowers. It's a regular house. They're regular people. He gets out. He goes, "Hey Dion, I'm Ben. How are you?" I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" He goes, "I saw the article. Good article." And in my head, I'm like, "What are you doing reading the paper?" I'm like, "But I guess it is a sports section."
That's his type of era.
It's the sports section, and I am on the cover. I'm on the cover of the sports section. I'm like, "All right, I guess that's." I'm like, "All right, whatever." He goes, "What do you want to do this at?" I was like, "Wherever you have room. No big deal. I can cut you in the yard if you want to." He goes, "Are we going to go here, get a haircut?" I go in his house. We're in the bathroom, which is not a bathroom, but whatever.
Yeah, it's probably one of those big ass.
Yeah, it's not a bathroom, but
it's a room.
Yeah, it's a room that they bathe in, whatever. And I'm like, "So what am I going to do to you?" Literally, out of his words, his mouth, he goes, "Even number 4." I was like, "You did not call me all the way out here." By this time, I never had a filter, but I'm more comfortable. And I'm not a fan. Like you said, I'm not a fanboy. I'm like, "You did not call me out here for number 4. You know how much number 4 is going to cost you? You could have gave yourself a number 4. I see he has his own clippers there. Like, you could have gave yourself a number 4. You didn't need me. What do you suggest?" I was like, "Get a fade."
And that's really rare now for you, right? Usually people just say, "You know what you're doing."
It's never,
that's all I always
nobody
did.
ever told me anything.
Yeah.
He goes, "What do you suggest?" I'm like, "You should get a fade." Because he was filming. He just got back from the surgery. So he was filming a documentary about coming back. It was his first day of filming. I'm like, "You want to be on camera?" I'm like, "Get a fade." He was like, "What do you mean a fade?" I was like, "A couple of reference pictures." I actually showed him a picture of Juju's fade. And he was like, "Okay." He goes, "I trust you." Boom. I'm cutting.
And you, hold on. Look, I'm sorry. There's just, I know so much about you. So I can give people some backstory to it. You know how to cut white people's hair. And when I say that, it's not no shade or nothing. There's a certain skill level it takes, especially when you've been cutting black people's hair for so long. Not everyone can do it.
Correct.
And you're like proficient at it. Like you're extremely good. So go ahead, finish the story.
Which is it's not even a black hair or white hair thing. It's like a thin hair to a thick hair.
Oh, so it's more of a texture versus ethnicity.
And it's just most black people have a thicker texture of hair. And if a white person has thicker texture hair, they're usually like Jewish. But other than that, Ben's hair is thin, so you don't apply much pressure. That's all it is. Once you get that down, you're good. But so I'm cutting his hair. His wife comes in, and Ben's on his phone. He's just down like this. He's not saying nothing, not doing nothing. Let me do my thing. I'm in front of a mirror, so he can see what I'm doing, but he's not saying nothing. Like, I'm like, I don't know if he likes it. He making no facial expressions. Like, I'm like, is he like want to spaz out? His wife comes in. She goes, "I love that." I'm like, "See? Told you." He was like, "Whoop!" He's like, "That's it. That's the haircut." And if you go to his YouTube channel, the haircut that he has, even his retirement video. So he's never had a bald fade in his life. Google it. He's never had a bald fade.
I don't think I've ever seen him with a good cut.
Google it.
Not even in the Super Bowl.
We're going to give you a ball fade. We're going to keep this hair on top. We're going to make this stuff work for you. I'm like, "Bro, you're not old. So we're not going to make you out here look like you're old." There we go. Cut to, he's like, this is the standard haircut I want all the time. I'm like, "All the time?" He's like, "Yeah, every Friday." I was like, "Okay."
Every Friday?
Every Friday.
And we know that's not hurting his pockets.
Every Friday.
Know that's not hurting
Every
his
Friday.
pockets.
And then, Ben has kids.
Oh, so he wanted the kids cut too.
His son was like, "Mr. Dion, I love your clippers."
Mr. Dion? Not the first. Oh, my God.
He's like, "I love your gold clippers." Like, they're like, I don't know who was cutting them before me, but you have to give them a show, quote unquote. So I have the gold clippers, I have the gold carrying case. You know what I'm saying? Everything looks great. Little bro wants like, I want a thunderbolt in my head. All right, no problem.
That's slight. I've seen you do way harder stuff.
Thunderbolt. And there we go. That's been what we this last 2 years. Yeah. So we go to. I'm actually ahead of myself.
Which I've never seen him post until like after them cuts, and it's like I'm starting seeing him everywhere. Like
because if you go to like even the Steelers Instagram page, read the comments. So I don't even read comments, but like you guys like will send me stuff. So one of my clients sent me Pat McAfee. Is that his name?
McCaffrey,
the white guy who has the podcast.
Who? I don't know anybody.
Literally, I'm minding my business as I do often.
Too busy.
I'm too busy.
Two shop Dion. Stop playing.
We 3 shop Dion.
Three shop.
Yeah, we 3 shop. Minding my business, and where is it? One of my clients goes, "Did you see this?" And there's a DM. I was like, "Lord, what did I do now?" Like I said something about somebody. What happened? They're upset. Oh, where'd it go?
Yeah, because you do. That's one thing we didn't dive into. You do be speaking your mind on the net.
Yeah, I mean, you. Either way, Pat McAfee, he was like, Ben has a great fucking fade.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I seen
bro,
it.
I was like, bro, this is apparently bro has a following. I didn't know who dude was. Still don't. Shout out to Pat. I get his name wrong all the time. But like, so even you go to the Steelers Instagram post, people are like, Ben must have got a black barber. You can tell you got a black barber now.
Duh.
They're just
Duh.
going. They're going like,
bro, when the cut's still good, once you taking the helmet off, bro, this is a black barber.
They're like, he gonna throw for 300 yards off.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
He did for 4.
You know what I'm saying? So like, they're up here gassing it up. I'm like, hey, yo, this is real. Like, bro, that threw me to a whole another.
Your head's already big.
It's truly something else. I was like, okay, man, Juju gonna ride this thing out. Later on, gone. I'm like, it's the Juju show. Like
now you got Ben.
Juju wants a haircut every He want a different design every week. You know how hard it is for me to put a design in your head on a Friday. You're gonna play Sunday. You're gonna come back on Friday again. I gotta take that out without making you bald and put another design in, and so it looks like it's brand new. That's hard work. I'm like. What? He said, I was like, are you kidding? I was like, all right, we just gonna see how this works out. And it worked for him. But yeah, and then now we're here with Mr. Roethlisberger.
Mr. Roethlisberger.
And to the point where he and his wife had a wedding renewal thing. I was there. Ryan Shea Series.
Bro, a barber is like it's like almost a therapist.
I'm not there cutting hair. I'm there.
That's what I'm saying. Once you have that barber relationship, barbers get invited everywhere.
I'm at Ryan Shazier's wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I wasn't a guest. I was a plus one of a guest. But either way.
But you were still known by everybody.
I get there at the wedding, and everybody's like, hey, yo, bro, I know you was coming.
It's all love.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in this area, I'm in this circle. Like, nothing's going to move now out of the Steelers organization without having me around. Anybody you see on that field, I've probably touched. And if I don't touch them no more, I banned them because they got on my nerves. And there we are. Speaking my mind, go for it. What you want to talk about?
All right, so I noticed that like when it comes to like maybe like, you know, a client might have a certain opinion or how you may do something or they may not like. When you speak your mind on it.
It's not even, my clients are cool. Now I got to the point where I can selectively weed out people who I don't.
Employees are cool too?
Employees are cool too now.
Because I've seen a ton of people come and go.
Yeah. It took me a while to get a good team. My team now is dope.
Yeah.
Shout out, like Julian the Barber. We got Vince West, who I've known since he was, 16? You know what I'm saying? Who went to school, killed Penn State cutting hair. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You do that in high school and college. We have Hootie does hair. We have Shantae who does hair. Missy, everybody knows Missy.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
Missy's been out here.
She's hell trying to schedule with her though.
You see Missy. So when Le'Veon wanted to get braided, I was like, well, I don't know anybody who braids hair. I'm like, well, let's find out who braid my hair. Missy wasn't doing hair. I went and made her. She was being a teacher somewhere.
Hold on. I've gotten my hair done by her, and when I say like top 3 in the Berg, fuck 5, fuck 10, top 3.
She wasn't doing hair. She was out here being in a daycare, literally up the street.
Just wasting those skills.
She was tired of it. Like, after you get tired of it, I'm like, I had to call her mom through Facebook. I'm like, can you tell Missy to call me? I need her to do something for me. So she calls. I'm like, I need you to braid hair, miss. She's like, whose hair? I'm like, some Steeler dude, like Le'Veon Bell. when I tell you we didn't know. So we're showing up to our stuff in like Ziploc containers. Like we're just very young and novice by this thing. He goes, and then she starts doing AB.
Mm-hmm. And this is when the braids and then the fades are real prevalent.
Coming in.
Okay.
And she does AB, and then Juju's like, it was a Raiders game. He's like, I want braids for this game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, really? He was like, yeah. You look at the Raiders game, he has those braids. People want locks. What? Terrell Edmonds, Trey Edmonds, Joe Hayden. She's like, so I'm big on spreading it around to the team. Like, what kind of a leader would I be if I'm the only person out here going to training camp? We all go to training camp now. If you want to. I'm not going to make you go, but I'm like, guess what? We're going to
It's an opportunity.
Camp. Yeah, why wouldn't you not want to go? You never know what's going to happen. So where James Conner was Julian's client. AB, Wes was cutting AB's kids. Kevin Dotson is Vince's client.
Well, I mean, you've gotten to that point where you're so big, you can't go to a training camp and cut 80 heads. That's fucking absurd.
But I'm so good at what I've curated. I've created an avenue for everybody else who works with me.
So is it safe to say you did the opposite of how people were doing you when you were coming up?
Correct.
Because the amount of people that you put on, like, and then some people might go and get their own shops and do their own thing, but you're not bugging on that. You're more of like, I want you to process and go out and do. I mean,
I would love it if you would stay and do what I want to do. That way,
but you'll respect
I could have had more locations. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to go out and do it on your own, because it's a lot of hard work. People don't get how hard this is. I get a lot of comments like, "Bro, you make it look so easy."
But like they don't see the overtime. There was a lot of time.
I'm not gonna let you see me sweat. First of all, not gonna happen.
All right, hold on, because there's one. It's like we talked for so long and then we're not near done.
Take your time.
All right, so there's one thing that I've been dying to. Who the fuck taught you how to dress? Because hold on, before we even go into like, y'all might see him in his bag now, but no. I'm talking about like when I first met him. He was still in the glory. Like,
I appreciate that.
It was an affordable duff, but it was still glory. It was Lacoste, and now it's Gucci.
It was Lacoste.
It was definitely Lacoste. Hands down.
Lacoste was the move.
So talk about that.
Taught me how to. My dad and my mother are very stylish. My grandmother was very stylish. That's like my grandmother always said, nothing. Being well dressed is like having good manners. And I'm in an industry to where your look is part of my job. Yep.
Especially as a barber, you gotta have the drip for some reason. Why is it like that?
You come into if I walked in, I'm not even trying. I don't even know how to a bad like just not being kept together. Like you're cutting my hair. You look homeless, bro. Like you're not gonna cut my hair. Like it's like going to a gym having a fat trainer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how you gonna tell me to work out and you fat? It's like how you gonna make me look good and you don't look good?
Yeah. Versus walking into the barber shop seeing the Gucci and the Off-Whites. I want him to cut me.
And it came to a point to where when I started hiring people, they would see and they would up their dress game. The whole thing is I wanted to make it look not as you want to create an experience of being luxury, but not unaccessible. But who taught me how to dress? I mean, I was best dressed in high school.
So you kind of taught yourself.
If you hit the yearbook, South Tech yearbook, I'm best dressed
from the beginning. So it was just natural. It wasn't really...
like if you go to like third grade pictures, I think I was wearing Gucci in third grade.
Bro, really?
Ask my mom.
Not the knockoff.
No, like literally. My mom like literally. There's these pants. Me and my cousin Richard, we both had the same pants. They were Gucci. It was super dope. But you know, so that's where that's where I get it from. Like it's just style, and along with money comes elevation of style.
Yeah, look, all right, so look, because like he's being humble here, like he said naturally came. I mean, if that's the case, then that's a lot of natural fucking sauce.
I mean, it literally like it is.
Yeah,
like so.
I respect it.
I had a family function yesterday, and I literally had on a black suit, and I'm really big on like.
But it's a Marnie, right?
Not even that. It was Top Shop, but I'm really big on high low. So like I got on the Gucci with like some fucking Forever 21 pants, and some.
You can make it work though, yeah.
Like literally, but we had on the black suit with the Gucci loafers, with the Gucci bow tie, and a Gucci overcoat. It was a lot of Gucci that day. To where I was at, we went to a funeral, and the Reverend who was busy funeraling the funeral, was like, "Who's this well-dressed man?" And bro, focus on the dead body in the room, not me.
Yeah. That just shows where we're at nowadays.
That the
in
Reverend,
society,
which is
that's
really
wild.
scary.
It's wild.
It's super scary.
All right, so you there's 2 more things.
Yeah.
One of them's more thing is you cut me for prom, and that's like real big because like that's always something I'm going to remember. And again, you might not remember this because you've cut so many people. It was the time where Wiz Khalifa had the patch thing, so I had you do that for me. And like I was looking spicy for prom.
I do remember your prom.
I think I came in and told you, it's like, I couldn't go to my prom last year. I'm going this year, bro. I need you to make me look crazy. And like when I say I went to my prom and I was probably the best cut nigga, hands down. And you're saying that's before you was even nice.
Yeah. Your prom was on the book, wasn't it?
No. That's how many proms he cut. My prom was where did we go? Somewhere downtown, and I went with this. Oh my god!
But yeah, what about that? Names. But so the funny thing, I remember your haircut for the prom. I remember
the patch.
I remember. So haircuts come in waves. So it was the thought cut.
The thought cut phase, exactly. When you were using the sponge.
You
probably don't use that shit no more.
I don't use sponge anymore. We have a little racket that's but hold everything.
Yeah.
Then then it became the braids and the fade.
Braids and the fade.
Then it went to, I remember the skunk patch from the Wiz. Everybody wanted the blonde. Then Odell came around. People wanted the whole thing.
And I could never get into that.
It was
that's a commitment.
Then it was like the burst fade thing happened. That's one craze. I'm glad it's gone. Like when the little mohawk fade thing, I was like, I'm tired of doing that. Everybody wanted that.
Bro, I know you've did that over 2,000 times.
People ask me what's the haircut you don't ever want to see again. I don't ever want to see a burst fade ever again. Like,
and that's like the fool. The temple is just the temple. You're talking about the like fake mohawk.
Fake mohawk, and it's faded up. It's just terrible. But the weird thing is, I've been cutting almost for 11 years in the shop. I've seen so many of y'all go to proms. Like it's crazy, and I'm still cutting y'all. Y'all are grown ass men now. Like it's crazy. Like I remember y'all being like high school kids, and I'm not that much older than you all, but it's like it's bananas that like you're doing this. And I have my one client, I remember I've been cutting him. Y'all seen me from the ugly floors to here we are, 3 shops in, teaching classes and flying out of the states for whatever.
Which why this episode so good.
It's super crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember your prom cut. I really do. And
that's
then you went blonde and okay.
It's a long story.
Shit happens. Shit rolls downhill.
Yeah, but yeah, that kind of just.
What other questions you got for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's basically it. All right, so you said you had something for me.
We have a lot of stuff for you. So now I'm way more than a barber.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you were been making products, though.
We make products. I think I was the first barber to. I have my own app in the app store.
Oh, hold on. You're talk about your backpack drive too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So my grandmother taught me a lot of stuff. Like to much whom is given, much is expected. So you're out here getting these good things. You're getting all this recognition. You're making money. Don't forget to do stuff for the community.
And you've been doing this since the beginning. First time I see you had that thing there.
We had the backpack drop. We had to take like 2 years off because of COVID. We went back again last year, and it wasn't that big because I guess people still weren't coming out because of COVID. But whatever. The first year we had it at a church in Homewood, Nazarene Baptist Church, to where free haircuts for back to schools and free backpacks. That was the last time I physically cut at a backpack drop because one of the kids gave me wingworm.
Whoa.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor don't cut that out. But leave that in there.
No comment.
Yeah. And then we just got to the point where we're going to have it at our location, so we ain't got to move things around. We did a backpack drive. I have a scholarship program.
That's new.
We were last year. I don't know.
Well, at least it's new to me.
It's probably we like 2 years in.
Okay.
So I tried to pick 5 high school seniors. Because I remember going to college, not for me, but my roommate. Like, my mom made sure I was cool in college. Refrigerator, we had food.
But that's not everybody. You realize that soon once everybody in your room.
I'm like, bro, eat some of these oodles and noodles. Like, I'm not going to eat all this. Like, are you sure? So I'm like, I gave a TV, a microwave to the first year.
Essentials.
And so this year, I'm trying to work on giving, like, a TV, a microwave. I'm partnering with Apple. To get a laptop, for you to get a laptop, we're going to get you a Walmart gift card for probably $1,000 to get stuff that you might need. And I'm partnering with Bed Bath & Beyond to give you stuff for your room. So that's going to be the scholarship program that I want to do every year. Right now we did one. This year I'm trying to do 2.
The Steelers haven't offered any like.
When you get to organization, you want to be very careful to not tread into being an employee. I don't work for the Steelers.
So you don't want to be that
Stiller
barber.
You know what I'm saying? So when you start asking for stuff, it's like, well, we want to put you on a contract. You ain't gonna contract me. You're just not gonna do it, because when we go to camp, I get paid.
Well, that's the money for you to shop.
You know
I got you.
So we do the backpack drive, and there's a scholarship program, and we teach classes. They're all like when I go to Empire and
that's so fucking
Barber
crazy.
school
You graduate from a school, then you go back and you're teaching. That's so crazy.
We go to the Barber school in Homewood. It's the Pittsburgh Barber Institute on Frankstown.
Okay.
I taught a class there. Shout out to them. If you ask me to come and speak to the people in the school, I will gladly come. I'm not the type of people like, no, I'm not. I'm too busy. I'm going to make time to come. Perry, what school did you go to?
I went to Sat Tech.
What school did you go to? Okay, so Perry now they had a robotics lab. They took it out and
cosmetics
put a cosmetic lab in there. The funny thing is, their instructor was my yearbook teacher in high school. So there was a time I had 3 assistants, but now I check all my own emails now, and she goes, "I'm looking for a barber to come over and just to show you like you can make money." Barbering,
real money, not no bullshit money. Yeah,
and you can make it into a business, and that's where I think my grandparents were back when they were scared of. You're just gonna be cutting hair. I'm like, no, I'm making it into a business. So I turned it into a business. So now I think I'm gonna go over to Perry and talk to them like on Mondays and take Wes, because he went to Perry. You know what I'm saying, what better than somebody you went to school with to show you how this can be done? You know what I'm saying? And we have there's that. Now the product wise. So
yeah, well we could go. I just wanted to make sure we got your support and how you do it out the community.
We streamlined a lot of things. I think back in the day we used to have all kind of stuff, wave grease, whatever you can name it. But now you see what sells. You don't want to have everything on hand, because on hand holds money that you don't get rid of. Exactly. So now we have bear kits. You know what I'm saying? We get the hair gang bear kit. In them you get You get a bear butter, a bear shampoo, beard oil, beard brush. All that is.
Put it on him. This is you right here. Just show it to this camera.
All that's natural. You know what I'm saying? You can have that. That's all you. You know what I'm saying?
You know the beard looking a little rusty.
We come in. We got
throwing shots at me.
Hair gang candles. When I tell you that boy smell bomb, bro. Hair gang candles. And we got ladies.
This is gonna get rid of the pet smell in the room.
We have our own bonnets. We have our own do-rags.
Oh, these are bonnets, so I can use this for my locks.
You can use it for your locks. Bonnets. Now. So
I used to have one of those.
No, you don't have one of these. So you're
I lost it.
The hair gang T-shirt.
Yeah.
Now we're in things where we want to make stuff that's less hair gang, not even less hair gangish, but more that you can wear every day. So now. Back in the day, you used to stand on the wall. Remember you used to stand on the wall?
Yeah. We used to always put our IGs on there.
IGs on there, stand on the wall. That's another reason how people got to coming in. Oh,
that is right. I used to see so many people. Yeah.
People take the wall.
Shout out Freebird.
So we have this thing now. We have the saying is the ugly but my fade clean T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? So we have the ugly but my fade clean T-shirts. And they come in
ugly but my fade clean T-shirts.
Because one of my clients is like, yo, I'm ugly, but at least my fade is clean. So we have ugly, my fade is clean. So we have those and those. There you go.
Oh, you giving all this to me? Yeah, he's getting real money now. He used to charge us for these. Here, I'll throw you one.
And that's it. I mean,
that's all right. So put the camera on me right now. So basically, what he gave me is basically similar to what I got on, but it's more like all around bonnet. There's no hang to it. So we got this.
And we're partnered with Sleek. Sleek is a natural, is a worldwide brand.
Yeah.
That we're distributing hair gang bonnets through Sleek.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you got like a real partnership. Yeah. This ain't no little boy shit.
No, we ain't out here like we're a brand. Like literally, we are a brand. So when these barbers out here who told me they didn't want to work for me. I mean, they didn't want me to work with them. Now my DM's like, how come you'll never put anybody else on? Now that y'all here being big time,
bro. Look, that's crazy. That's something I wanted to ask you. Like,
go for it. And
this is my last question, and then like if you have any questions for me, is like because I'm starting out this podcast shit, and I noticed like I'm not doing extremely good, but like I'm doing 100 views per video, and I just started out, And I noticed like there's been a lot of little shade towards me, and I don't understand why. And then there's people that saying, "Why are you podcasting?" There's family that don't really believe in the vision, and it's just like it's in my head, so I can't really like let them see it. So how do you like process like?
We're gonna break that down into 3 parts. We're gonna start the family part. No one's gonna believe in it until you become popping in the world's eyes.
Wow.
So
That's so.
nobody. Perfect example. Dion just cuts hair. All right, that was like until I met Le'Veon. That's when things slip for
What?
people.
But you were way big before that.
They don't care. Until I met Le'Veon. Now it's like, oh, he the best. I get with him. He best in the bed. Blah 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 blah. You out here, and this a phrase I hate. You look like money. Like, what do you mean? Like, cause I've nothing.
I wouldn't say money. I say you look like success.
I appreciate that. But another thing is with more money is more problems. Because now I have accountants, I have lawyers. Cause I get sued.
I know them taxes is crazy.
Tax
now.
season is never fun. I have 6 companies now. 11 years, 6 companies later, here we are. But they're not gonna believe in you until it's done. Whenever you do it, whenever you're like, I want to do this, you sure, bro? You want to quit your job and do this, blah 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 blah. But when you do it, I knew you can do it. Oh, you knew when I do it, you knew I can do it. Nobody's helping out.
So nobody was sharing your stuff, like posting you, none of that.
People still don't share my stuff.
For real.
And now it's to the point where I think they don't share because it's a little of a envious thing, which I don't get because I am far more. I help way more than I don't, if I can.
That's one of the pro people. They need their cut. They're not playing with you. They not playing with you. Look. Well, I get it. Look, all right. So look. If you have any questions for me, like just let me know.
No, you're good. I mean, he'll get it when I get to him.
All right.
He ain't doing that.
But still, though, if you want to finish it, go ahead.
And then to the point where the hate's gonna come. Develop a thick skin. Because if you would literally let every time somebody says anything off and you let it fuck up your day, don't nobody take you off your vision. You have a vision for a podcast. And when I saw this, I didn't even see it. So my assistant runs my Facebook page. He's like, I don't know what your handle is on Facebook, but whatever it was, he's like, what does this word say? And I looked over. I like, oh, that's Nugget. I was like, I click on it. I like, bro, I got a podcast. And what did I say to you?
You share my shit too.
I shared it. I was like, I watched your first episode. I'm mad proud of you. I'm saying, like, you're doing something in Pittsburgh that hasn't been done. Like who?
Well, there's
no, don't. Well, there's no.
But like they're on a different wave than me. My vision's all right. Yeah, you're right. You gotta. No, you're right.
Like for real, you can be doing a lot of other things that aren't productive.
True.
Like I've when I meet you, you were what, 16?
16 or 17.
16, 17?
16 or 17. No, it had to be. I was definitely I met him 11th grade. 17? Yeah, I was like 17. That means you was like 16. 17,
your formative year that you can go out and be a fuck up in the world. You're not fucking up.
Well, you knew I wasn't always like you weren't. I matured over time.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So like to see that. Yeah. So it's like nobody's gonna get it. Nobody's ever gonna get your vision, and you're gonna spend a lot of time wasting energy making people get your vision. Like so, like when I want to do another location. So like let's point in the Bloomfield location. You figure I am. It's year 1 is anniversary actually probably this year. So I've been placing publications. I have national commercials, Pizza Hut, Champion, Art of Sports, Yahoo. I'm Nike. But I still have to prove to people that I'm going to come in here and do some good stuff. They didn't want to give me a location in Bloomfield. Nothing.
I think you told me you were shooting for Oakland at first, and then they did that lame shit to you.
You're going to get to that next. I have to literally, I just said, like, I have a press kit. What barber do you know have a press kit? Go ask a barber for a press kit. What you mean, bro, a press kit? I have a press kit, so when I go into places that aren't occupied by people who look like me, my age, my skin tone, I've been in plenty of meetings where people go, aren't you a little too young to have your business? What do you mean? You have a business for blah, 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 blah? And I'll go to a location, I'm like, well, I need this to be done, I need more security, blah, blah, blah. You need security for a barbershop? Bro, our equipment is worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah, no, you've upped your shit all the way.
It's worth $1,000. We have steamers. This is an elevator. I have professional people. I have millionaires. You can come into my location and there's about like 8 millionaires in at one time. We need security, but they don't get that because I'm dealing with these white corporations who don't know that getting their haircut more than once every 8 months from like a.
Unless you're like, and those are like more of like the higher ups, there's like the white people, but unless you're like more of like a Travis Kelce type,
yes,
you're gonna not really be in your cut.
Because from what I hear, and I don't know if I'm wrong, Ben really wasn't getting haircuts like this.
I don't remember him having, bro. Just know, we knew when you was cutting him, and he was getting a lot more showtime on TV and stuff.
Lot more camera time on the
sidelines.
Yes. I'm like, Faye's looking great. So when we're forced to be. We weren't supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? People I grew up with in high school, they're dead. All my boys are dead. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm here doing this, employing people, I went to Houston on a vacation. Just happened to put it on Twitter, hey, Houston, I'm in town. People start booking me in Houston to the point where my hotel, I'm like, do I got to come out here once a month to rock out with Houston?
Don't let you get the Texas community because they be needing it.
It was terrible haircuts. I was out like, y'all haircuts are terrible.
Even Florida even with their wicks, they be.
So it's like we weren't supposed to be here. So of course, people aren't going to be able to understand what you want to do because they've never seen it done before. But once you do it, somebody's watching you and like, hey, I'm watching what he's doing, and I'm going to do what he's doing. Somebody's watching you. I've always noticed that. People are always
I've been wanting to do a podcast. It just took time, and I know I had a personality. I've made so many people laugh. And shit is just, I should have been did it. Facts. Facts. I appreciate that, though, and I appreciate you coming because I know how busy your schedule is, and I know that, like, this ain't the same. This ain't 2012, 2014.
Bro, you said, you was like, I'm like, let me know.
Bro, you responded, and it's crazy because I know your schedule is way more packed than some of these people that be dodging me and shit. And it's like, you knew it's like, what? He needs me. He was there when I needed him. I'm going to be here reverse. And that's so crazy.
And that's what I live by. Like,
you're a real nigga.
I see, if I can help anyway, like, I'm going to help. Like, you never, like, so when this drops, we're going to put it on my social media. It's going to go on the website. People are going to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Is this your first interview?
Ben's going to watch
on camera?
It's my first. It is my first. It is.
Let's go.
Actually, it is my first on-camera
Fuck
interview.
yeah, let's go.
I've only been interviewed like on paper. It's my
yeah. Because you said you did the newspaper.
The Post Gazette. I did the Soul Pit. We did I was 40 under 40 with the Courier. I won the Marquee Award for the Who's Who in America.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
I think that's it right there. Yeah. This is my first on camera interview. Yeah.
So that alone's just gonna be a blessing, and it's going. Like I said, I've been knew you, so this ain't no like jump off shit. We've had ample conversations while I'm getting my haircut. Like we've talked. You know what I'm saying?
And that, I think, like you said, to bring it to that's probably why people rock with me to an extent. Like even athletes, because I don't. Everybody gets treated the same.
There's no faking you.
You cannot come in and say, "Oh, he treats this person better than he treats me." You're all. If you're doing something stupid, I'm gonna tell you doing something stupid.
Yeah, and it might come off as funny.
I'm like, you're not getting this. I'm not doing that dumb haircut. It's not gonna work for me. So it's always everybody. It's the same across the board. Even when I teach, I'm me. I don't know how to not be me. And I think that's where people fall short in the authenticity of not being themselves. I was a Tupac who was like, the one thing about me is I know who I am, so nobody else can tell me what I'm going to be. So you can't force my business to what I want to do. So we're pivoting. Oakland. And I tell you, it's like pulling.
If you get Oakland, I feel bad for every barber.
So many meetings with Oakland. I actually had meetings with
the
Pitt.
Super Cups is empty. Where you wanted that bar? It's empty. Nobody goes in there. I've had
meetings with Pitt's like team, like to put a Pitt a barbershop on campus, like to be affiliated with Pitt. College kids need haircuts. Like if you go to Hampton has a barbershop right on campus. Pitt, when I tell you, and we get into a meeting, and I'm in a meeting with a person who looks like me, and you're like, you don't get it.
And they have the money to create
you don't. They're like, well, we don't know if that's what we want to do with our what did they tell me? Our student demographic, bro. You have all they're coming to me anyway.
It's all black people, yeah.
They're coming to me anyway. You might as well cut out the middleman so they ain't got to travel that far.
And it'd be safer all around.
I went to a meeting, and the guy goes, "You're Ben's barber." All right, I'm like,
slight flex again.
I was like, "Yeah, you're right." He goes, "I love that guy." Ben's cool with me.
Yeah.
Me and Ben be having like little. It's very weird.
You see them as humans,
but
like,
here's the funny thing.
We don't.
I wake up one morning to a random text from Ben. Random text all the time. He's like, he went to a concert, and I guess they pulled him up on stage, and he was like, he took a selfie. He was like, it's because my haircut's good. I was like me and Ben are having random conversations on the phone. Like, his birthday's today. I was like, happy birthday, big guy. He's like, appreciate it, my guy.
Happy birthday, Ben.
You know what I'm saying? Ben,
Big
you know what I'm
Ben.
saying? Ben's 40 today, you know what I'm saying? And I think I'll see him tomorrow, but that's neither here nor there. Like, even my assistant got a PS5. Like, I'm like, Juju, I need to give him a PS5. I can't. You couldn't find a PS5 anywhere. Who comes?
And and Juju did that twice for people. Yeah, he's been doing that.
Who comes through for me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's vice versa.
if you want to, if any Yeezy release that is out, I have it.
Like I said, this is a proof example. I asked him to do it. He was joking on me. I reminded him once. He was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry,
because I'm so busy." Like, I'm like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna put it on the wall. They'll sign it for you. Like,
Yeah, facts.
I'm really big on doing what I say and meaning what I say. Like, I don't like people. You ask people to come and they're just like they're trying to play you. You're not that busy.
They're not. Yeah.
But
You're that busy.
I am that busy.
And like I said, I appreciate you for coming on.
Anytime, my guy.
This episode's gonna be so fucking fire.
I mean, you can ask. I mean, you got me for. If you want to keep going, I got time.
I can't because they're gonna start coming in here. But
Oh,
look,
all right.
I appreciate you coming in. A lot of respect. We just gotta get a flick and then that's a wrap. Good. You already stopped
Wait, before y'all stop, hold on. Make sure you go visit
plug all your shit.
AntoineDion.com. ANTOINE.
You have an app?
DION.com for all of your hair game needs. You get all the products we have on there. You go to your app store. It's the AntoineDion app. What barber do you know has his own app in the app store? A lot of work was put into
You had that
my
for
app.
a minute though.
Had it for
You be refusing to not go through you.
I don't. I can't because if you were to DM me and I don't know you because now I know you, so I saw your thing come through. I was like, all right, baby, we're gonna answer him. But if I don't know you, I'm not gonna answer you. I'm not gonna have time. Hit the app. Come visit any location here on Bedford Square. Here on Bedford Square 2. There's Hair on Liberty, Penn Avenue, right across from West Penn Hospital. We're just working on Hair on Liberty. I mean, Hair in Oakland or Hair on Forbes, wherever it's going to be when I get to Oakland. That's it. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate you coming in. Love, respect,
boy.
respect.